if you clicked on this video, most likely you can't handstand and you want to learn. The handstand is a staple move that all beginners strive to unlock when it comes to calisthenics. This is a full beginner's guide on how to unlock the handstand, and I'm going to be going over 4 main parts. The strength exercises needed in order to hold a handstand, the progression exercises in order to unlock the handstand, proper handstand form, and how to find balance when doing the handstand. Let's go. So if you want to learn how to do the handstand, stick around for this video. Now, when it comes to the strength aspect of the handstand, we need to focus on 2 things: our straight arm strength and our shoulder strength, okay? Because when you're doing a handstand, right, all of your body weight is literally being supported by your shoulders, and that weight load is being distributed through your arms, okay? So the first exercise you want to be doing to build up enough strength to unlock the handstand is pike push-ups. Pike push-ups is an overall great calisthenic exercise to build up the shoulders, not only for the handstand, but also other calisthenic skills like handstand push-ups. A pike push-up is very simple to do, and I'm going to show you right now. So you're going to go in a push-up position, right? Now, instead of going straight down and doing a normal push-up, you're going to walk your legs towards your hands, okay? Walk your feet towards your hands. Now, the closer your feet is to your hands, the harder the pike push-up is going to be. All right, so if you're a beginner and you're just now starting out, you don't want to put your feet crazy close to your hands. Have it at a good length away, and as you get stronger, you can progress and move closer to your hands. Now, when performing the pike push-up, you don't go straight down, okay? You go out. You want to make a 90-degree bend with your arm, all right? Just like this, not straight down, out, all right? And that is how you perform pike push-ups. Now, some people like to do this exercise. Some people say they don't really need it, but for exercise number 2, I like to do shoulder press, okay? Dumbbell shoulder press. You will pick a weight that's heavy enough so that you can get between 6 and 8 reps, and you're literally going down 90 degrees and you're coming back up. Dumbbell shoulder press. Also, I believe that certain weight exercises do correlate over to calisthenics training really, really well. And I believe that this is one of them. Exercise number 3, which is probably the most crucial exercise out of every single exercise I'm going to give you all today, which is the assisted handstand with the wall, okay? Now, to do this, all you have to do is literally go against the wall. You can turn with your stomach towards the wall or your back against the wall. Either way works, right? And all you're going to do is kick up against the wall and hold, okay? And an important thing to keep in mind when doing this is to make sure you're pushing through your scapula. So you see how I just raised up like another few inches? That's because I'm pushing through my scapula. Now, when I'm not pushing through my scapula, you can see I droop down a bit. So make sure you're always pushing through your scapula. Last but not least, for strength exercises needed in order to unlock the handstand and be able to hold the handstand is Hindu push-ups, y'all. Now, Hindu push-ups got to be up there with pike push-ups, if I'm being honest, okay? Builds crazy shoulder strength, especially for calisthenics. If you have no weights at home, then this is a great exercise that you should do. So, to do a Hindu push-up, it's pretty simple. Now, you're going to start in a pike position, right? And instead of going down like you're doing a pike push-up, you're going to swoop under and then come up, okay? Just like this. So that's 1 rep. Swoop under, and then you come up the opposite way. Boom. That's 1 rep of a pike push-up, okay? Now, these are all 4 strength exercises needed in order to build up enough strength to hold the handstand. You can incorporate this into your calisthenic workouts. I recommend doing these 2 to 3 times per week with 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps for each of these exercises. Now, let's move on to the second part of unlocking the handstand, which is the progressions needed in order to unlock the handstand. Y'all, I've been filming this video the whole time with this pick in my hair. But anyways, let's get on track, okay? Now that we have the necessary strength needed to unlock the handstand, now it's time to focus on the one progression that is needed to help you unlock the handstand, okay? And this is really the only progression you need. You don't really need any other progression, right? This is probably the top tier progression to help all beginners unlock the handstand, and that is assisted wall holds. Now, I know when I went over the strength exercises needed in order to unlock the handstand, I said that you can do wall assisted holds in order to build up straight arm strength and shoulder strength. And I said that the way you do it doesn't matter, but when you start using the wall in order to use it as a progression, in order to unlock the handstand, okay, you want to do it with your back away from the wall, back away from the wall. In my opinion, that's the best way to learn it. And it's the best way to adapt to the actual handstand without any assistance. So here's how it would look. First, you need to figure out how far away should I be from the wall. It's pretty simple to figure out. First, you're going to get down on the ground, right? Either foot, it doesn't really matter, right or left foot. You're going to put your foot to the wall, make sure it's straight, right? Wherever your hips are at, that's where your hands need to be placed. And that's how far away you should be from the wall. So literally one leg length away from the wall, okay? So my hips are right here, which means my hands should be in this position. You can have it a little closer, but never further away, okay? But for this tutorial, we're gonna just keep it at hips length, boom. So this is where my hands should be at before I kick up onto the wall, okay? Now walk up the wall, okay? Now, whichever side is your dominant side, you're gonna take that leg off the wall, okay? And with your non-dominant leg, all you have to do is slowly do pulses, moving that leg away from the wall, right? Now, it's not gonna happen on the first try, but eventually you're going to find balance when doing this to the point where you kick off and you will actually hold the handstand, okay? And that's it. That's literally the only progression needed in order to help you unlock the handstand. But there is more, okay? Now that we got the progression needed in order to unlock the handstand, what does good handstand form look like, okay? Good handstand form is when your body is stacked. Meaning when you're in a handstand, you should look just like this, okay? We're gonna start from top to bottom. Our hands is our top because when we're doing a handstand, we're on our hands. So wrist should be lined up with your shoulders, shoulders lined up with hips, hips lined up with feet, okay? That is what good handstand form looks like. Now I'm gonna show you step by step how to make sure you got good handstand form, all right? And after this, we're gonna touch on the balance aspect of the handstand because I know that's what most of y'all are struggling with. So stick around to the end of the video to figure out how to balance the handstand. Since I can't get a side view, I'm gonna just do it from the side without the wall and just pretend that a wall is behind my feet and you will understand everything that I'm saying, okay? Now, I got my arms shoulder width apart. I'm focused on one point on the ground. Now, if I was to kick up and hold on the wall, right? Say for instance, it's a wall behind me, even though it's not, just imagine it. I can't get a side view. If I could, I would. So just bear with me, right? Now, for instance, boom, there's a wall behind me, right? When you kick off, right, you want to make sure you get your hips aligned with your shoulders, okay? Hips should be aligned with your shoulders. Wrists should be aligned with your shoulders as well, okay? And then you will slowly kick off like I was saying. And when you find balance, you will lift that other leg up. Make sure you focused on one point on the ground and push through your scapula. Okay, so boom. This, I believe, is good form for the handstand, okay? Now you can clearly see my wrist is aligned with my shoulders is aligned with my hips, and my hips are aligned with my feet. This is what the handstand should look like. This is perfect form, okay? So just keep in mind, whenever you're using a wall, okay, I need to have my hands shoulder width apart, boom. When I walk up the wall and I kick off, I wanna make sure I get my hips aligned with my shoulders, right? And it's very easy to tell because when you start doing pulses with your opposite leg, trying to kick off the wall, if you're falling back to the wall too quick, that lets you know as an indicator that like, oh, my hips aren't aligned with my shoulders. And vice versa. If you start to fall forward too much, that lets you know that your hips is past your shoulders. And another thing, I don't know why I forgot to mention this. It's not always your hips that's causing you to fall because they're not aligned with your shoulders. Sometimes it's your legs not being aligned with your hips. So if your legs is too far below your hips, you'll fall back to the ground to your feet. And if your legs is too far past your hips, you'll roll over onto your back. Okay. Um, and to fix that, all you need to do is make sure that you keep your legs aligned with your hips and then your hips aligned with your shoulders. All right. But yeah, I forgot to mention that in the vid, but back to the video. Right? After you get your hips aligned up with your shoulders and you find balance, you can slowly lift that other leg up in the air and then make sure you align it with your hips, and then you will have great handstand form. Now, we got the strength exercises needed to unlock the handstand. We got the progressions needed to unlock the handstand. I just went over how to have perfect handstand form. Now we need to go over how to find balance in the handstand, because I know y'all have some questions like, oh, I can hold it for a couple seconds, but I keep falling back down. How do I stop that? Or I keep falling on my back. How do I stop that? In this final part, I'm going to be going over the balance aspect of the handstand. Let's go. Now, last but not least, we have how to find balance when doing the handstand. If you made it this far in the video, like, comment, sub, share, hit that bell. Let me know in the comments what tutorials you want next, okay? Now, for the balance aspect of the handstand, it's very, very simple, right? I'm gonna try to explain this in the most simplest way as I can, so bear with me. If you have any other questions, if this isn't enough, drop them in the comments and I'll answer them. Now, when we're doing the handstand, essentially, we're just standing straight up, but on our hands, okay? Now, if I were to stand straight up and fall forward, right? Usually, what most people would do is they would lead with one leg, okay? And that's the same thing with a handstand. If someone's in a handstand and they falling forward, they lead with one hand and that throws off their balance completely. All right, how do I stop this? Boom. If I was to fall forward, right, instead of leading with one leg, in the comments, drop down below what y'all think I need to do in order to stop myself from falling forward. I'm gonna give y'all 5 seconds to answer. Okay, if you said anything along the lines of grip the ground with your toes, all right, then you are correct, okay? Now, if I was standing straight up and I was falling forward, I would grip the ground with my toes. You see how that stops me from falling forward instead of just doing this? So when you're in the handstand, it's the same thing, but instead of gripping the ground with your feet, you're in a handstand, so you're gonna grip the ground with your hands. Now, it's very important. I forgot to mention this in the last section of this video, but in the previous section of the video, when you're in a handstand, never keep your hands flat on the ground. You should always grip the ground, leaving a little space in between your hands, just enough so that maybe your pinky or ring finger can slip through, right? And you want your hands to be like that so that you can actually grip the ground when performing a handstand, okay? Now, I'm gonna show you what this looks like. Caught a mosquito. Let me get back on track. Boom. If I was doing a handstand and I was to fall forward, I'm gripping the ground. Boom, I'm gripping the ground with my fingers right now. That's literally stopping me from falling forward. Another thing you can do is flex your foot in the opposite direction you're falling. All right. So as you've seen, since I was falling this way towards my back, right, I will grip the ground with my hands and flex my feet the opposite direction, okay? And vice versa. If I was falling back downward, I will flex my feet this way and release my grip some so that I can find balance again. Okay, so that's really how you fix falling forward and falling backwards when doing the handstand. Now, the second part to make sure you find balance when doing the handstand is making sure your body is aligned, like I said in the previous section of the video. So you want your wrists to be aligned with shoulders, shoulders aligned with hips, hips aligned with legs and feet, okay? Now, if your legs are not aligned with your hips, that's gonna cause you to fall back down this way, like this. And if your legs are past your hips, that's gonna allow you to fall over that way, okay? Meaning forward. I wasn't finna fake that because, yeah. But anyways, you wanna make sure your legs and feet is aligned with your hips. That is very crucial, okay? So, to stop yourself from falling forwards or backwards. Remember, grip the ground if you're falling forward, flex your feet in the opposite direction. If you're falling back down this way, you want to release your grip a little and flex your feet in the opposite direction you're falling. So since you'll be falling this way, you'll flex your feet that way. If you're falling that way, you'll flex your feet this way. All right. That's probably the simplest way that I can explain how to find balance when doing a handstand. Okay. Here's another tip for you guys. Think of the handstand like this. Your body is a scale, right? A seesaw scale. And your hips, right? The middle is the center of gravity. One side of the scale is your legs. Well, this side of the scale would be your upper body. The other side of the scale would be your lower body, right? If one side of the scale have too much weight on it, then it throws off everything. And that's how you fall forward this way. And if the other side has too much weight, then you will fall over that way. So you want to make sure your weight is distributed evenly. And how do you do that? By making sure everything is aligned with your hips, because your hips is literally the center. All right. Same thing if I was standing straight up. If I lean forward so much, it's only so much I can lean forward until I fall. And same thing with leaning back. So just make sure you always keep everything aligned with your hips, because it is your center of gravity when doing a handstand. Now, that's it for this video. I really hope this helped. If it did, drop in the comments. Let me know how it worked for you. Also, let me know in the comments what videos you want next. Make sure to like, comment, sub, share, hit that bell, and I'll see y'all in the next video. If you want your balance to reach this type of level like this, literally just follow everything I said in the video. Just make sure you stay consistent with your training, and over time, you will achieve this level of balance. Have a great day. See y'all in the next video.